Okay, so in our other videos, we set up our project, made our composition, put our layers in there, renamed them, positioned them. Then we animated our camera, and then we animated some of the individual layers or individual monsters in the background. Once again, you don't have to do all these different animations. You could just animate that camera and have a pretty cool scene, but with everything moving within reason, it starts to give it a little more reality, a little more visceral impact. Now we're going to see how we can do what's called puppet transformation using the puppet pin tool. Okay, I think I'll do this with Dracula first. So I'm going to click on the Dracula layer and come out here where I can actually, he's invisible. Let me come out here where he starts to become visible. Right around here. Good. Then what I can do is come up here in my toolbar up here at the top and click on my puppet pin tool. What this will do is I'll pin it on natural places that will naturally move or rotate. Wrist, elbow, shoulder, base of the skull, his other shoulder. I could do this part here too, but yeah, I think I'll do one here on his other elbow or forearm. Good. Now I want to, that's my starting point. So now when I go to my final frame, I can do one motion here. I can click and reposition these. Now these may feel a little weird and may take some getting used to. I may have to try it a couple times to get it to look natural, but I can do some animation here. It feels a little weird, so let me stretch his hand out here, move his elbow up a little, and move it out this way. His finger's starting to stretch a little too much, so I'm just going to move it this way a little bit. And I got to bring that shoulder up a little bit. I can see this image, when you use a puppet tool, it sort of affects everything, so you got to keep an eye on it so it doesn't get out of control, so it still looks realistic. So you can't do too drastic of changes. We can do some little subtle motion changes that can make it convincing. All right, so then you got to check it. Does it look all right? Does it look realistic? Is it too much motion? Do parts that just get distorted? I think it looks pretty good. It's doing some slow motions here. Subtle motions of his head and his arms changing. Good, not too bad. Okay, let me do the same with a werewolf. Frame 1 on the werewolf. I'm going to pin these out on his, I think I'll try this just on his shoulder, his elbow, base of his skull, other shoulder, arm, and I'm going to pin everything down here at the bottom on his waist. I'm doing this in frame 1. You can actually do this on any frame you want. And I can make motions all through here, but I'm just going to do one subtle motion until he sort of disappears here. And you can always click on these anchors and delete them if you put too many up there. Well, I'm going to reposition these guys, move his arm around, like he's bringing his arm up, ready to swipe. He's going to rotate his head a little bit and move his other arm out a little bit. I got to be careful things don't get too distorted. So we're just doing subtle motions here. So it looks pretty cool. He's pulling his arm way up, like he's about to swipe at you. I'm going to exaggerate a little more, so I'm going back to my first frame. And I'm going to actually bring that down a little bit, that arm, so it has more of an exaggerated motion. Like he's really lifting his arm up to swipe at you. Okay, good. And I could do a couple more on the background, on the mummy if I want. For sake of time, let me do one on one of the fogs, see if that makes a difference. Okay, here's my right fog, smoke, puppet tool. See if this will be interesting at all or not. Okay, it's frame 1. I'm going all the way to the end here. Or close to the end so I can actually see the puppet tools. Zoom out a little bit. I'm just going to move these around to see if it gives that fog more of a realistic swirling effect. Alright, let's see how that looks. Yeah, it definitely feels more swirling, more natural. Okay, so that's the puppet tool. How can I change things after the fact? Like if I did some animations, I selected different layers, did some other stuff, and I noticed the previous animations don't look right. Well, I can come back here, select my animation. Guess I'm gonna go for Dracula here. Well, how can I change those puppet tools? I don't see them. Well, if I open up that Dracula layer under here, there's my puppet tools. And then I click my meshes, then deform, and there's all my different tools, my puppet tools I made. I can open each of those, select them, come out here and change them if I want to. Okay, and also put eases on any of those animations. So that might be a good idea to do that. I'll open all these. You can see the keyframes there. And I can select all of them. Right click, keyframe assistant, and do a ease on those. All right. So that's the puppet tool. Like I said, you can also delete all those if you don't want those on there at all. Delete the whole effect if you want. So now we've got a pretty complete animation, camera motions, layer and object animations, and some puppet tool, which gives you a little more control, a little more subtle control, realistic motion of my characters. All right, and here we go. Next, we'll show you how I can add a